Hey, it's the coach and Mike here, and you guys enjoyed our QB grade so much. We're giving you the running back grades here for the holidays. So, looking at a lot of the rookie running backs, couldn't grade them all because there's so many, but we're giving you our favorite 10, and we'll even give you grades and more, but we're not going to break down all of them. Sorry about that. So if you like football, you're enjoying the content on this channel, please subscribe to join this growing community as we try to give you all the football news we can bring. So without further ado, I'm throwing up the alley-oop. Mike, you take it away.
All right, Coach. I'm going to be starting this list off with Jahmyr Gibbs, who was interestingly drafted while at the same time the Lions had just signed David Montgomery to a rather generous deal, considering the running back market. As far as running backs are concerned, we all expected him to get competition right out of the gate, which he definitely did early on. He showed early spurts, but his real damage has been when Montgomery was knocked out of a game early on, and he proceeded to take over with the extra carries and go on an absolute tear. He took over the majority carry position in the Lions' 1-2 attack, and I am very excited to see what he has in store. He's also got some pretty soft hands with 42 receptions on 54 targets for 272 yards. This will put him 100 yards away from 1,000 all-purpose yards. This gets him the grades of an A, as he has met expectations and clearly surpassed the Lions' expectations as well.
The next guy on our list was the 8th overall pick, and when you're taking a guy that high at the running back position, you know he's got to be elite, and it is Bijan Robinson. He comes in with a B+ grade, and before you kill me, just know, let me explain myself. He has the NFL talent. It is clear he is an elite, talented running back, and he's going to be a dude for years to come. The problem is I just don't know if he showcased his full ceiling and been that elite dude this year. Yes, he has good numbers. They keep giving him opportunities, but his numbers aren't just popping off the screen for me, so I just can't give him an A. He has 159 carries for 756 yards, only 3 TDs. He does have 35 receptions for 266 yards, which are good numbers, don't get me wrong. But when you're splitting that top 10 pick, you want a little bit more. I know he's splitting carries, and it isn't like he has been awful. He's been good, don't get me wrong. He's been good, but he's just not been that guy that you're like, man, I'm glad we spent a top 10 pick on yet. Just hasn't showcased those type of skills yet. I hope he gets more opportunities and chances in the future to showcase his elite athleticism with more carries. Please make him the workhorse back. Give him opportunities. Let him showcase his skills. But for now, we're just left with good numbers and the best play being, in a Toy Story game. So kind of all I have for Bijan Robinson. Hopefully we see more, but for right now, he's kind of underselling the hype, so I'm going with the B+.
Coming in at quite the surprise for a third-round pick, Devon Achane burst onto the scene with a 76-yard run against the Giants and did not look back from there. The first man to be the fastest man on the field on a field shared by Tyreek Hill has been a mind-boggling card for Mike McDaniel to play and a joy to watch on Sundays. He can line up anywhere, and when given space can be a very dangerous weapon. He's the number 2 back to Mostert and is the definition of everything you've ever wanted in a change of pace back this year, except for the fact that he's been hit with a bit of the injury bug early on. Recently, the Dolphins tend to ride the hot hand at running back, and his number has been called so many times in this dynamic offense is a statement to his A rating.
All right, next one on the list I have for you is the Seahawks running back, Zach Charbonnet. He's had a pretty good season. You're talking about a good second-round pick. He spent time at Michigan and UCLA in college. He got plenty of opportunities to play on the big stage in the college game. And the thing is, I don't see him, though, as an elite number 1 guy in the NFL, which is what you're looking for if you're taking a running back in the second or first round. You're looking for those guys who are going to be number 1 guys. Luckily for Seattle, though, they do have Kenneth Walker to be their dude, and he can just be the number 2, which I think is the perfect role for him. In recent weeks, though, because of injury, Walker's been out. He's had to be the number 1 guy, and I really think he's struggled. He's had 48 carries in the last 3 weeks with only 154 yards, and he just hasn't been that elite in a Seahawks offense that is based around the run and gives lots of opportunities to run the ball. He definitely want to see more. He's a solid running back in today's game with 24 receptions and 142 yards in the air. So I think a B- is a fair grade for a guy who looks like he's going to be a great RB2 on a team, but maybe not that RB1 you wanted when you drafted him that high.
Going up, repping the Bears for this list is Roschon Johnson. What has been a turmoil-filled year in comparison to expectations for the Bears has been paralleled only by the beautiful consistency that is Roschon Johnson. He's chipped away at opposing defenses with an offensive line that does him no favors and came out on the other side averaging more than 4 yards per carry, with 54 carries on 232 yards and 1 touchdown. He's shown his ability as a pass catcher consistently too, with 24 receptions on 28 targets and 131 yards. This is going to earn him a B- grade, as you'd like to see some more explosiveness in terms of high yardage outings, but that might not be the name of his game, as he's historically a running back too. It's hard to tell with the Bears game plan these days.
Next on this list is the Prince to King Henry, and that is Tajae Spears. He went to Tennessee in the 3rd round. He is another solid mid-round pick. He has not been asked to be the dude so far this season, and he's been amazing in the receiving game. The only game he really got an opportunity, he had 16 carries. He got a solid 75 yards on the ground. Again, I don't think he's a future workhorse back, but I believe he can put up great numbers and be a good number 2. He can complement an aging King and help a transitioning Titans team from falling all the way down to the bottom of the NFL. His biggest strength is he's a great change of pace back. He's super athletic, and he will kind of help them be able to change up their offense, especially in the receiving game, with an aging King Henry that kind of struggles in those things. And so I like what he has, and I like what he has to offer, and I'm really excited to see what his future holds for him, especially as I think he's going to start seeing his role expand over these next couple of years as King Henry kind of declines.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time where we pedal to you guys to increase that bad sub number and get it to 200. Get that goal, link, give us an early Christmas present, show us the love, clickety-clack that sub button. Next, we have Keaton Mitchell, who is up next on a long list of running back 2s that the Ravens have signed off the street and plugged into the offense. As the running back 2 in the Ravens offense, you're essentially the running back 3 with Lamar Jackson. And it's been a roller coaster of a season, with bangers against the Seahawks and the Chargers, excuse for a defense, but rather quiet outings aside from that. I'm sure he'll stick around for as long as he is healthy, which kind of happens to be a weirdly hard thing to do with the Ravens. But as far as this list goes, he deserves a C, and we hope to see more from him.
All right, next up we have another 3rd round pick on this list, and it is going to be the Tank himself, Tank Bigsby. Now, I think he's the most disappointing drafted RB this year. I mean, Tank has just not really truly produced. Now, he has been limited in opportunities, which was expected, but the fact that he's RB3 right now on the team is what scares me. Also, while a lot of our running backs on this list have seen an increase and kind of got off the slow starts this season, he has seen his role in the offense decrease. It's basically disappeared. He hasn't been getting touches. He hasn't been getting opportunities in the recent week. I don't think that bodes well, especially as he's not a guy who's good receiving the ball, and Travis clearly is miles ahead of him, and I just don't see Tank's time in Jacksonville really leading too much. So the D grade to me just seems fair and honest. Maybe he gets a chance somewhere else, but I think as a 3rd round pick, he's going to be out of the league sooner rather than later, and I just think he's a total disappointment so far. Now, he could turn it around, don't get me wrong. He is an uber talented running back at Auburn, and he showcased those skills at the college level, but I'm just not seeing it right now, and his time is ticking.
All right, with the 6th round pick, the Cowboys selected Deuce Vaughn. He has been a little bit underwhelming. The man that was supposed to replace Darren Sproles has had quite a similar rookie season in comparison to usage in a way to the legend, with him coming in at 21 carries and 38 yards to show for it and 6 receptions on 30 yards. Comparatively, Sproles had 8 carries for 50 yards, so Deuce is going to have to increase that efficiency if he's going to want to get anywhere near him. The carries he's been given have gotten him nowhere. The straight line speed is definitely there, but he struggles to get separation on his snaps, even in the pass game, and the offense isn't really geared to go to the safety line, especially when he's in. I think he has potential, and I'd love to see him be the next Danny Woodhead myself, but it's just not there right now, man. We're going to give him a D-.
Last but not least is the only F grade on the list, and it is former 5-star recruit Zach Evans. The crazy thing is, coming out of high school, him and Bijan Robinson were fighting it out for the #1 recruit. Some, recruiting, ranking systems online or websites or agencies or whatever were ranking Zach at 1, and some were ranking Bijan 1. So this guy has credit. This guy has talent. He is there. But his college career never really turned out what people thought it would. He never really became a true RB1. He never truly had those crazy numbers. Now, he still has the 5-star talent, but I'm thinking now that his talent won't lead him to much NFL success in a long career. He has 8 carries for 16 yards, and he can't really get opportunities for the Rams, which isn't a really good thing because they've had running back injuries this year, and I'm just not liking what I'm seeing. Sadly, I think he will go down as a Texas high school legend who never reaches his ceiling. Definitely will get opportunities and camp invites for years to come based on his talent. Maybe ends up in the spring league. I don't know, but I just don't see him being one of those guys that sticks around for too long. Now, with that being said, we do have other guys that were drafted and other guys who've had opportunities, and we didn't want them to get forgotten about. So we do have them now for you. Below is the grades for all those guys, our 5th round picks, some undrafted guys we felt like we couldn't really sit there and talk about too much. So if we left them out and you think we made a bad decision, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, peace.